Welcome back to another What Everybody Wednesday. Does it look different? I think it looks different. It's another episode of the What Everybody podcast. It's another episode with a new look, a new concept, a new and improved. Ryan and Jonny are in the same room together for the first time ever on the What Everybody podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I need you to sit back. I need you to grab a beer, grab a bag of chips, do whatever you need to do. So with no further ado, from the same room, Ryan and Jonny. Hey, everything. Hello. Welcome to a new version of the What Everybody podcast here. Dude. I got Ryan Harris sitting next to me. I'm not going to lie.
Look at. It's like, do I look at you and have a normal conversation?
When we're talking, I'd imagine that would be what we do here. This is
look at our home camera.
Yeah, I mean, like there's cameras everywhere. We got lights, we got amps, we got drums. I'm pretty stoked about this. It's weird. You're here.
I'm like starstruck.
He's starstruck. That's
no. I'm not.
Starstruck.
I'm not giving you. I'm not giving you a compliment. I should probably try talking to the microphone. I'm not giving you a compliment. I'm saying that, like,
oh, God forbid he gives me a compliment.
It was so long since I've seen you in person.
How long? What, a year?
A year.
You left the mid December 2020.
Yeah.
What are we now? Mid July.
I look good.
2022. We're talking like probably 13, 14 months.
5 months shy of 2 years. I haven't seen. You look good, man.
Lost weight since I was just started my diet when you and I
like to bust your balls, but you look good.
Thanks, dude. Thank you. Thank you. So,
all right.
We don't know how this is. It's taken us a little bit of time to figure this out, but
it took me a year to figure out how we were doing it, and now we're gonna try to set this up.
Yeah, and we were working this afternoon. We're like, let's meet at 11. And then I pushed it to 12, but then brought it back to 11:30, and then showed up at 12.
It's 5 now.
It's 5 now, but
we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Yeah.
And now here we are. So, all right, I'm going to come in hot. I got a couple things I want to talk about.
All right.
First, I'm going to start by saying that I got a notice for jury duty again. This is going to be my third time in 5.5 years, and 2 of those years was a fucking pandemic. So explain to me. This is going to be my third jury duty.
That's annoying.
In 5 years.
That's annoying.
It's crazy. I was talking to Ron, my roommate, about this.
Never had jury duty.
Well, you just X'd yourself.
I think I knock on wood.
I'm not going to knock on anything because I want you to get it because it's annoying.
Dude, that's a mean thing to say to a friend.
Well, not really, because I think you should do your civil duty. Speaking of civil duties, here we go again. It's funny because I'm supposed to report on August 15th, which is the day that I fly out to Europe. So I'm gonna. Well, it won't get me out of it. It'll get me a postponement. I'll go and do it. I don't mind it. It's like I just want to say, if you're gonna give me jury duty, don't give me some dude trying to do insurance fraud. I want a fucking murder trial. Like, fucking give me something good.
Give me OJ.
Yeah, dude, that would have been awesome.
Dude, you would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect.
He wouldn't have been found innocent, I'll tell you that much.
You also would have been, what, like 8?
Yeah, I was, probably not, it wouldn't have probably have qualified. However,
somewhere in the minor ballpark.
Here's one problem I'm having here is Ryan ate a bowl here while I was gone, and it smells really good, and I still haven't eaten since breakfast.
Because people might think that I smoked a bowl.
Well, no, that's what this is. I'm going to do a blinker. You want to do a blinker with me?
No, I get my first in-person blinker, dude. Go for it.
Okay. Hopefully I just went and took a break to go get my...
No, don't do that, because you're going to cough, and then I'm going to get all corona.
No, I will do it.
Audio silence, but video gold. Blow it that way. Yeah, take a timeout. Take a timeout.
Okay.
Welcome back.
I got a problem at the house.
Okay, so you are coming in with a lot of things. One, you got jury duty that you're going to get out of because you're going on tour again.
I'm not going to get out of it. I'm going to get it postponed.
Congrats, you're going on tour again.
Thanks.
It's like, just cough all over me. Just coughing all over me.
Well, I don't have COVID. I just tested myself.
Sure hope not.
I just tested myself.
When?
Monday.
Why did you test yourself?
Because I was going to get a booster shot, and I didn't want to have COVID and then get a booster shot and just feel like COVID overload, and my body's like, well, that backfires, and we're going to send you to the hospital now.
Oh, is that what happened?
I don't know.
Dude.
You know what happened? Here, to be honest with you.
I'm getting real paranoid with the coughing.
Sorry.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Whatever Buddy podcast.
Oh, we never said hello, did we?
We didn't say hello.
Hi.
Just start over.
No way. I'm not starting. No.
Yeah.
No way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode here.
These two guys.
Where's the main There's the main camera.
Right there.
As you can see, we did mention that we were in a new place. A couple of weeks here. Are you going to be here until I leave? Probably. You'll still be here when I leave.
I got a one-way ticket. So I'm here for as long as it makes sense to be here. I got a couple of things that I got to get. I'm going to try to
What are we going to do with the podcast while I'm on the road?
We'll figure it out, dude. We'll figure it out. I don't know. What are we going to do with the podcast while I'm in town? We had to figure it out today. I flew out here a couple of days ago. I get to the airport at, I think it was like 11:30. I had a 12:50 flight, okay?
11:30 a.m.
A.M.
This is in Pittsburgh?
Yes. So I get there and, watch, you don't kick that.
No, I guess I knew I got a leg.
Just got a leg. The guy's got long legs. So I get to the airport at 11:30. I get on my plane. All's good. I have a layover in St. Louis. Okay, $606 ticket. No big deal. One way. Layover in St. Louis. So I go to my gate in St. Louis because my ticket says St. Louis to LAX. Okay. I go to my gate and it says Austin, Texas. And I'm like, okay, well maybe they moved my gate or something's up.
Rewind. I missed something.
I land in St. Louis.
From Pittsburgh.
On
Southwest Airlines.
Calling you out because you're full of something. And I go to my gate for my LAX flight, my second half of my flight, and it says Austin, Texas. So I go up to the desk and I'm talking to the girl.
What's it supposed to say?
LAX!
Why are you going to Austin, Texas?
Right, that was my question.
Oh, maybe it's like the same plane or something like that. It's just like a stop.
I went to the desk, and the lady at the desk goes, oh, well, you have a layover in Austin, Texas also, but you don't have to get off the plane.
That sucks.
Which is lame.
How long was it?
But here's the thing I'm calling out.
How long was it?
I'll get to that. Number one, there was no mention of that anywhere throughout the booking of that ticket, throughout anything. There was no mention of Austin,
But
Texas.
I recall you said you used miles.
I did use miles.
That's where they're like, they feel like they can fuck you because you're using miles.
How is that a thing?
How is what, them fucking you?
Well, no, I know how that's a thing, but I'm saying if I pay with miles instead of dollars, they're going to add a stop on my trip?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what they did then.
Why?
So hear me out. Plane takes off, lands in Austin, Texas. Pull up to the gate. The flight attendant...
They're like, get off.
No, pull up to the gate. The flight attendant, who I kind of had in the back of my mind, like, she doesn't seem like she's my type of person, but I was perhaps cranky because of the second layover. She goes, well, there's 23 people on this plane flying through to LAX, so I can't count you if you don't stay in your seat. So if you're supposed to stay on this plane, please stay in your seat. I'm fine with that instruction. I don't want to get up anyways. So I'm sitting there.
She said real bitchy like that?
She said it almost verbatim how I just did.
Like that tone?
Like she had a little bit of attitude to her. I wasn't too mad that I don't think I was reading into her attitude. Anyways, the point.
I would have asked her about the attitude later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious. It's cool if you're upset. I get like that. Why is it you were upset? I'm just curious. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Or I walk up and I'm like, hey.
Hey.
Sounds like you're
You like me?
you okay? No, I'll touch your knee.
Yeah.
You okay, hon?
Yeah.
That would have got me thrown off the plane.
No, you're just gonna be like, yo, where do you keep the wine? Let's have some.
Yo. Break open that box Merlot.
Yeah.
What do you say?
That box Merlot.
So I can't tell a straight story around you. Too many tangents.
It's
so
all right, it's fun.
we're in Austin, Texas. I get up, I use the restroom on the plane. We're instructed to use the restroom in the back because the front one was being cleaned. That's cool, whatever.
Wait, they were cleaning it while in flight?
No, we were on the ground, dude.
Oh.
The people getting off at Austin got off.
They offer you a snack while you're waiting?
No, not while you're waiting.
That's lame. Yo, you got some pretzels? You got some peanuts?
Probably would have given me that if I had I asked for it. But I had a mask on. I did the whole safe.
How many people were wearing masks? I'm guilty. I wasn't wearing a mask my last flight.
The far minority were wearing masks.
Really?
But I don't give a shit.
Well, things have gotten a little bit different than when I flew back last time.
I don't really give a shit. I had one on because it made me feel better. So judge me. I don't care. So I go to the bathroom, sit back in my seat, and she comes back on the loudspeaker and goes, "We're having a problem with the air conditioner. It's going to take a couple minutes to fix."
Where you're in Texas?
In Texas, yeah. Yeah, not a place
what time of day?
Oh, like 3 and like 3. Like,
oh, you
like
gotta be kidding me! Like no air conditioning. You're sitting on a runway in Austin,
It's like 105
Texas?
degrees outside.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
But like the blinds were closed. The plane was fine. The plane was fine. The plane was fine, on my standards. So I'm sitting there still. It's not warming up. She's like, they're working on it, and they're cleaning the plane. And then a couple minutes later, she goes, "Well, it is a 3-hour flight to LAX, and we don't have any food services. So why don't you guys traveling through take your ID, check in with the people at gate check, let them know that you need to get back on the plane, but get off the plane now. Go get some food." Instead of just saying, "We're repairing the plane. We have broken air conditioner. We're repairing the plane. Can you guys get off?" That's what she meant by it. But the way that she phrased it was like, "Well, we have 3 hours until you're gonna have any chance of getting something to eat. So why don't you go grab something now? You know, whatever."
Well, hold on a second. That's where I might disagree with you because, like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, you all know that's the case. She's just trying to like ease it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, here's a little logic behind it. You're going to be hungry in 2 hours. Go get some food.
What she meant by those words of what ended up happening is we were delayed for 3 hours.
Oh.
Got off the plane. Now, I got off the plane.
How long was the delay supposed to be?
I was supposed to stay on the plane.
I know, but like, how long were you supposed to sit there for?
I don't know. Well, again, it wasn't on my ticket, so I don't know. It wasn't on my ticket in any way, shape, or form. So 30 minutes? I don't know.
Could have been 2.5 hours.
So they say get off the plane, go grab something to eat or whatever. I didn't take my bag with me. I wasn't told that we're delayed. All it was go get food and we're going to try to clean the plane. While I'm in the airport, they come over to the loudspeaker and say, "Well, the air conditioner's broke and the bathroom's malfunctioning and we have to fix that before we can take off." Fast forward 3 hours later, my phone, I don't have anything to charge my phone. I'm annoying myself by complaining about this, but this is just my experience. I'm not complaining. I'm just talking about my experience.
Yeah. Well, you are complaining. It ended up being...
Yeah, I have a complaint. I just
have a complainy voice.
I just have a complainy voice. Anyway, so...
We have a friend.
Pittsburgh to LA.
You should talk to our friend about this. But I just want to say, you guys remember that episode probably about a year ago?
Can I sum up
just real quick.
Can I sum up my point?
Yeah, please do.
Pittsburgh to LAX took me 14 hours. There was a time we went to Europe for a tour one time, and we got from LAX to Heathrow in London in 16 hours.
So you can get that's a 10.5-hour flight.
It's just crazy. It took 14 hours, bro, to get here.
Listen.
Why?
You remember the episode, I think it was like episode 4, Is Johnny a Karen?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Episode 59.
Well, the answer's still yeah.
The episode 59?
Yeah.
Is Ryan a Karen?
What makes me a Karen?
I guess you'd be a Ken. Is Ryan a Ken?
But what? I didn't complain to anybody.
To me. You're complaining to me.
Oh, I'm a total Karen to you.
Yeah.
But who cares about that?
Am I a Karen?
Yes.
I've laid off lately. I've laid off a lot, I think. I think the...
You can lay off and still be more of a Karen than I ever will be.
Well, like I worry that like you just don't know who's filming now.
Yeah, exactly.
So now
I can't even look at you. It's like I'm used to that Zoom wall being there.
I'm just looking at your shirt.
And now my buddy's in the same room as me, and I don't know how to act. I can't look you in the eyes, dude.
It's kind of weird. People need to let us know if they like this dynamic better.
I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna have to let us know. I don't know how I feel about this dynamic. It's fine. It's fine. I like doing the podcast. You're fun to talk to.
I think I have to start worrying about what I wear now.
Yeah, you look like a bum. You're in pretty good shape. You were fat when I left, right? Is that fair to say? That's fair to say.
I did. I lost the pandemic, the first 6 months of the pandemic, I was already teetering.
Yeah.
Like before the pandemic, just because like I was teetering.
But you always wore baggy clothes, so it like wasn't really.
And then,
Obvious?
and then once everything shut down, it was like I started drinking like a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
And I started eating like a fucking lunatic.
Now you got like a tight fitting t-shirt
Well,
on.
I fucking
I can see your tits.
I do my push-ups religiously.
Yeah, I could tell.
Got to keep the arm strong for the drums right next to you.
I've been very open on this podcast that I like to take every opportunity to,
This guy's killing me over here.
give you the business.
Thanks, dude.
But you look good.
I lost a lot of weight. I lost. I marked myself at 183, but I'm pretty sure I was 185 when I started this calorie thing. I had an app. I limited myself to 1,500 calories a day.
Yeah.
Had 10,000 steps a day.
Do it.
And you know what, dude? I'll tell you what. December 6th, 2020 is when I started that.
Pointing at your coffee.
Because I haven't had sugar in my coffee since December 6th, 2020. I have not had a Coca-Cola since fucking December 6th, 2020. I haven't, like, nothing. I had a Red Bull once on the last tour. I was so fucking tired. And I've taken a couple of Jaeger bombs from time to time.
Gotta do that fizz pop, dude.
But I haven't had 5 hour energy, nothing.
Worse than that, Zip Fizz. I talked about it last week.
You did.
Dude.
You did.
You gotta get those.
You did.
It's just vitamins. It wakes me up.
I'll tell you what, though, in all reality, I've just, that diet was a turning point for me because I realized that I'm getting older and I'm a drummer, so I need to stay in shape.
No, I mean,
it's like,
it's not even, it isn't even really an age thing. It's at a point you're going to go one way or the other.
That was my decision making process.
You're going to be out of shape and that's just who I am, or I'm going to change it and I'm going to eat better. And
I had that exact sentiment. I might have even said it to you because right before we talked about it last week, right before you left, I was starting to come over and I was walking 10,000 steps a day. I was like, let's go for a walk. And that was so crazy. I listened to the podcast today from last week. And I remember saying to myself, I'm either going to go back out on the road as a guy who weighs 200 pounds or a dude who weighs 150, which is what I weighed my whole adult life. Yeah. And all of a sudden I weighed 185. I was like, this is not going to fucking happen. And I went down to 150. I'm fucking staying my ass here. Just changed a few things.
Keep doing
You know what I am, issues with, and we could talk about this here, is that
allow me to help you.
I don't know how to hang out with people anymore.
Nah, dude, it's weird.
And I don't think we're alone on this. I was talking to my roommate about this. Like, I think this is a thing that's happened around the pandemic. It's like, yes, I've been out in public. Yes, I've gone on tour.
You haven't interacted.
But when it comes to like an intimate setting interacting, like this, I was nervous as fuck today coming here, knowing you were going to be here.
Were you nervous because it's a new thing?
Well, it was just like, I'm used to not hanging out with people unless it's a public setting.
Yeah.
Even like when I come to band practice, I'm like, I feel awkward. It's not because I don't love the guys. It's because I'm just like, how do you act around people?
Even then, you're just like, you're playing music. You're not really talking a whole lot.
Yeah.
But the irony, the word that I had trouble with right there is irony.
Irony.
I'm not...
Irony.
Irony. The ironic part of it all. I'm not much of a talker,
Way more of a talker now.
I've always been talkative and jokey joke guy with my friends, but I'm not that at all to like people I don't know. And then in a weird way, doing this podcast has made me more conversational. I enjoy talking to people.
Conversations are great.
I don't want to be antisocial weird guy.
Yeah.
But so we do this podcast. I feel I have gotten a little bit better at talking to people, and it's during a pandemic where no one's talking to anybody.
It's interesting. I
dragged that out a little too long, huh?
I also think that the mass things make it weird now. Like, for example, like during the pandemic, I'd go over to the 7-Eleven. And it was like a newer 7-Eleven, so like all the workers, I got to know them
with a mask on,
right, for like the first year and a half, and they I only saw them with masks on. So then one day I go in there and they don't have the mask on. I was just like, I had no idea that's what you look like.
Dude, you're hot.
No,
or vice versa.
I was indifferent. I was just like, what the fuck? Dude, it was just like,
you have a mouth? Weird.
Totally, it's totally like that. But you know what, though, dude? It goes to say something about the Asian culture. When we were traveling before the pandemic, I would always wonder why people would wear masks at airports at times.
Yeah.
And I later learned that the reason they would is those people weren't feeling well, so they would wear a mask too.
Imagine that. They give a shit about other people.
Yeah.
Boy, I said that real angry, didn't I?
You did.
Why was I angry?
Well,
there?
because I think we live in a climate and in a world
people don't care.
That people are just like looking to start problems. It seems like
people want to be trolls.
Why?
I don't know.
Like it's almost like takes more of an effort than just saying, you know what, it's easier just to be cool.
What's the psychology going on where like I'm guilty of it too. There's times that like if I'm on Instagram and I see something and I'll have like a thought, it's like, oh, I bet you somebody, and I'll go to the comment section to see like, did anybody else say this? So that kind of makes me a little bit definitely
go to the comments to see what people respond to certain posts I see. Yeah. Because I see posts of like, obviously because of my political beliefs, my feed is definitely directed to, catch my attention.
Well, everybody's is.
Right.
Whatever
so
you're interested in.
I'll see things of like
there's a Netflix thing on that, right? It was like,
yeah, Netflix is they're about to start using ads, and that's a whole nother story.
No. Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, you just ruined my day, dude.
Well, no, just moved to Amazon.
No, but there's a documentary that talks about how like the things that you click on alter the things that come through your
everything. Dude, it's everything. Like when I go to YouTube, it's catered to me.
Yeah.
I just see like I'll be watching something that's directed towards my political view, showing somebody on the other side talking, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm like, because I think it's important that you hear what the other side say, and you hear all things, and I'm just flabbergasted at the fact that like, wow, man, like that's mean, A, and 2, you're allowed to say it because the First Amendment, I get it, but 3, a lot of people agree with you, and that's terrifying. I'm not talking politics like agreeing like, Joe Biden sucks. I'm not talking that kind of stuff. I'm talking you're being hateful.
Yeah.
And there's people cheering that. That's just humanity. That has nothing to do with politics. That's sick.
I feel it was always like that.
Yeah, and it got brought to the surface.
Didn't know it because what's somebody 3 states over thinking if you aren't connected to them with your phone?
Do you think social media as a whole, and not just current day, I'm talking from when like social media became like a thing till now, do you think it has been a help or detriment? Has it been a help or a detriment to society?
It's been both.
Well, I'm asking for, you got to pick a side.
I have to pick a side.
Think about it for a second, and in the meantime, I'll go, la, 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 la. Oh, you got to ask
Can I snap with you while I'm thinking?
Yeah. La, la, la,
it's
la.
Been more, it has to be more of a help. I don't want to be the negative guy that says, oh, it's all bullshit, even though some of it is.
I mean, with everything, there's going to be good and bad.
We are a music podcast. There have been platforms that help music greatly.
But it's true. Stop touching me.
I'm doing it now to exert my dominance of the
my legs are longer,
floor
bro.
Space.
I could just put them over there.
Yeah.
But then you could probably kick your leg into my leg to have my leg kick myself in the face.
Then we're playing.
Did I tell you how I punched myself in the face not too long ago?
Then we're playing footsies and that's gross. And please tell me why and how you punched yourself.
Dude, it was my nose got bigger.
Dude, we're random today.
Okay, first, if you pay attention, you'll notice that my glasses slide where before they didn't because the hump got bigger there and I got a little bit of a drag here. What had happened was, me and the guys, check it out. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really lucky I didn't kill myself by accident because I hit it in that spot that could knock you fucking out. Like, the bone into your brain.
I think that's urban legend.
That's how dudes sometimes end up in prison getting into a bar fight. They didn't mean to fucking kill the guy by punching him in the nose. Then he hits his head. Listen, let me tell you my story.
Continue.
I don't need you to.
I'm just gonna let that all go.
We're not gonna let your Pittsburgh negative attitude fucking seep on in here, okay?
First of all, don't have that.
No, well.
You showed me.
It's funny. It's a lot more fun doing it in person.
Just tell the story.
So
I'll be over here on Zoom.
That's funny. Playing a gig with the guys. Get done. This was like, I don't know, maybe almost a month ago. Zipping up the hardware bag. And it's like I can't get the zipper all the way together and I'm just trying to force it over the fucking thing. And by doing that, I pulled the tab, the zipper tab, you know, like that thing you hold. I pull it, and I'm using like all of my strength, and I come in and I fucking right in my nose. Fucking
So
clocked.
did the
I had
zipper break or did your finger slip off?
the thing broke,
Okay.
so it came with full force.
So you're pulling on something that's giving you resistance, and it lets go, and you punch yourself in the nose.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah, it hurt.
probably like this far.
That would hurt.
And I was using seriously, I was using all my strength.
Like all your strength, and
Yeah.
snap back. Yeah, it's like
And it went right underneath, bro.
swelled up.
Yeah.
Swole up.
Yeah, I didn't get black eyes, but it was swollen up here, like right at the top. And like now my glasses, ever since, they slide.
We were playing a show one time, and you stepped off. Okay, we're taking our stuff off stage, and you stepped down on a step.
Oh, Santa Barbara, Velvet Jones.
Yeah. And this step was actually an overturned PA speaker that was not good for a step. And you stepped on the edge.
It was
of
a monitor.
It was a monitor, yeah. You stepped on the edge of it. The monitor flipped forward. Your feet
I was
went
carrying
up.
a bass drum.
You're carrying, so you don't have your hands to catch you.
Yeah.
A bass, big drum.
Yeah.
You step, your feet go out from under you.
Yeah.
And I witnessed from about 5 feet away, you crack the back of your head and neck on the corner of the stage.
Just under my skull.
That's the closest you ever came to dying, not punching yourself in the nose.
What would have had to have happened there for me to have died?
The nose or the head thing?
The head thing.
Dude,
I guess if I
don't
would
know
have
how you
landed
didn't-
an inch.
I don't know how you didn't really hurt yourself. It probably was just the spot that it hit you on. Because if it would have hit you in a different spot, lower, maybe you would have.
I could have
broken it.
paralyzed myself.
Higher, maybe it would have done something to your skull. I don't know,
Man,
dude.
I'm really lucky when you think about it.
That you're super lucky with.
God was looking out for me.
Yeah. I bet that's why that band broke up. God was looking out for you.
Well, you know what?
He's like, boys, you need to do something a little bit safer.
Somebody who we should have on
During a pandemic, you're going to start a podcast.
Somebody we should have on this show someday, Dal Gloria, who I love. She says something to me once when I was going through a really, really tough breakup, and I'll say it to others today, and I'll say it to you right now. She said to me, she goes, "Rejection is God's protection."
It's interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's comforting too, because it's like, you know what, everything does happen for a reason. You know what I mean?
Though?
All right.
I don't know if I fully believe that.
Okay, well, let's hear why you don't.
I don't have any basis on that, though.
Well, why do you, and why don't you why don't you believe that?
I think humans make up a lot of concepts and sayings and stuff to make themselves more comfortable about whatever.
That's how I feel about people in religion.
Yeah, I feel that way about it too. It's like, I mean, first of all, let me preface with, if it helps you, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
If
teach your own.
Whatever makes you feel better, that's all good.
Yeah.
So, but I think a lot of that stuff is just like kind of comfort mechanisms or defense mechanisms for comfort.
I disagree with you. Now, I had a friend once say, "Oh, everything happens for a reason." Oh yeah, tell me, then why'd my dad die? And I didn't have an answer for that friend, but I'll tell you, I'm sure there was something to be learned from it.
That's a tough one.
Sure, I understand where the concept becomes tough in those situations, but when it comes to everyday life stuff that doesn't include death and stuff, because I think even with death it applies, but let's eliminate it for just the sake of conversation.
COVID.
Dude, I don't have COVID. Chill the fuck out, bro.
Coughing on me, man. I'm adjusting.
Maybe even in town, we should do it in separate locations.
Ryan's in LA, but we still do it on Zoom. You just see the bookshelves behind me and where I'm staying.
Yeah, I'll be like, you're like one of those fucking smart guys on the TV. But like, listen, man, you and I would not be here right now. It's like when I got fired from the Knives, okay? That was like a fucking real painful thing for me. And I would have never thought at that time that there was a meaning behind any of it. But had I not gotten fired from that band, I would have never ended up in Warner Drive. If I never ended up in Warner Drive, I would have never met you. I mean, it's just...
For that, I would have felt truly sorry for you.
Right, yes.
Someone's got to bring the funny today, my man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everything has its purpose. Like, maybe I would have met you some other way, sure. But,
okay, I'll put it to you this way.
You know?
Here's
There'd be no podcast right now if that didn't happen.
Here's where I can extend my olive branch, metaphorically, if you will.
I'm not a fan of olives.
But are you a fan of metaphors?
Yeah.
It means here, I'll try
metaphor?
That. I'll try to relate. When I think about, I went to college, went to get some learning, and I haven't used a day of it. Not a day of it. I mean, there's things that I learned about living on my own and stuff.
Yeah, that little piece of paper helps you get a job that, like, say, somebody like me who doesn't have that little piece of paper.
And perhaps that has helped me.
But I have never looked for a job that needed it. So
the minute I got out of school, literally the weekend after I left school, I played a gig with my band that went on to become Jerry Monroe, which that was that part of my life. It was like as soon as I got out of school, I did a 180 and got into music. And
well, let me ask you this real quick.
I do have a point, but go ahead.
No, I want to hear that point. But, like, was that probably because your parents were like, yeah, cool, you can do the band thing, but you got to get a college education first?
No, they never gave me any pressure. They're like, I was in school because that was are you all right there? Yeah, you're kicking shit.
I just don't
That's
like.
That's why my feet should be
I need to be,
not yours.
Dude, listen.
I can't reach the shit to kick.
Unlike you, I'm athletic, okay? I need my knees.
You are an athlete.
Yeah.
You are an athlete.
My knees hurt.
So anyways, I get out of school, start playing music, and I think back about it a lot. It's like that would have been a lot of saved money. That would have been 4 years of potentially pursuing music 4 years earlier, But I always come back to the same thing. It's like when I was in school, I had a lot of free time, and I spent the grand majority of that free time playing guitar. So I got a lot better at it. I had 0 music classes. I had 0 art classes, any of that stuff. So I didn't learn anything about the guitar from school. I just had time to play it. So had I not had that time, I think, well, maybe I wouldn't have found the interest in it that I did or whatnot. And the way the timing lined up.
Have I told you before about the crossroads I had when I was 18 with a job on the radio that I turned down? When I first got out of high school, and the only reason it's funny that this came up is when I went to the dentist today, I got an email from my buddy Stu, who was one of my best friends in high school, and he was just complimenting our podcast and radio. He mentioned radio.
Shout out Stu. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, buddy. So I wrote back and I told him this story, so I'm going to tell you this story. When I was 18, like right out of high school, I went out to all my friends went away to college, so I felt the need that I needed to like go away too. I thought I'd freak out if I stayed at home.
Yeah, because you're young and it's like the thing to do.
Right, like it's like, oh my God, nobody's going to be around. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
It's going to be horrible.
You're too young to make that decision.
Right, and you're 18. It's not like you're going to go hang out at the bar or nothing like that. Like thank God that didn't happen to me. So I went away to University of Nevada, Reno from Philadelphia. Now, let me just tell you, it was the only school that accepted me, and tough guy. It was the only school that accepted me. So I said, okay, and I went there without ever looking at the school. So I didn't even know where, I'd never been to Reno, Nevada.
It's a far way away from Philadelphia. Too.
But the guy who was in my computer class, Troy, shout out to Troy. You met Troy.
Oh.
It's Salt Lake City, Bert's Tiki Lounge. He just showed up out of nowhere. I hadn't seen him in years, and he just popped up at a gig. It was the craziest thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I remember Candace got really mad at me on the way into that Salt Lake City show. I forget what for.
Does that relate to this story? Or?
No, but yeah, well, kind of, because we were going into Salt Lake City. Candace got really mad at me. And when it talks to me for like a day, I forget why I might have called her the B word or something like that. And then that night we played in Troy, who was the one that I knew going to University of Nevada, Reno.
Okay. Oh, and it comes and now we come back full circle.
Popped up at that show.
Okay.
That we were playing in Salt Lake City randomly. I hadn't seen him in years. Anyway, I go out to Reno, and it was quite a culture shock.
Right.
Like hardcore. Like I went from like Philadelphia to like the Wild West. It was like crazy. It was just desert with mountains close to Tahoe. It was really cool. No college radio station there, and I really wanted to like work at the college radio station. So there, real close to my dorm was the second largest radio station in Reno. It was the classic rock station. I wish I could remember the call letters, but I can't. I just went up there, walked in, asked to talk to the program director, asked to intern. He said, yeah, sure. So I started interning for this guy for the whole first semester. At the end of the first semester, he asked me to do a demo tape for him, for a DJ. So I did it. I go home Christmas break. I come back, go back to do my internship, and he offers me a job. I was like, wow. He goes, yeah, but it's Friday night and Saturday night, 12 midnight to 8 a.m.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, part of it. Yeah.
And I was just like, there's no way. So I always look back at that, and this goes back to what you were saying in your last story. That's what made me think of this. The crossroads. Like, I always do look back at that because my buddy said I reminded him of Howard Stern. And I always thought to myself, 18 years old, I'm opinionated, I'm annoying, I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, I'm Jewish. I'm a prime candidate to just be like a Howard Stern.
I'm a Karen.
I'm a Karen. No, I'm not a Karen. I'm not a Karen. I'm just a man who stands by his principles. That's all. But the point is, I do look back at that as a crossroads. Now, and I think everything happens for a reason, but if I would have gone that way, I think I would have never got to do what I got to do with music. I think I would have.
Well, if you get it,
would have did a different kind of career.
Occupation at that time, you're making money.
I felt like I would have been bitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, here's so-and-so. They fucking suck.
That was the experience I had. Did I ever tell you this? Because when I was in college,
I think
I interned at a...
he called the guy, he told him he looked like Danny DeVito or something like that.
I told him he looked like George Costanza. Wow, words are hard.
And he got like George mad.
Costanza.
He got really mad.
So I interned at a radio station where I went to college. It was like the biggest pop, like morning zoo type radio station. I went in there, got made fun of the first day that I was there by the morning guy.
Because you look like the guy from Deuce Bigalow.
He called me Corky Romano, which now...
Is that the guy from Deuce Bigalow?
No. It's not Deuce Bigalow.
Which one am I thinking of?
You think Corky Romano?
Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury. Like Mr.
You
Peepers.
totally do
like
look...
Mr. Peepers.
You look like that guy.
And so be it.
When you shave, you look just like the dude. It's cool.
So be it.
That's
and
cool.
So be it.
People tell me I look like some weird people too.
But I got that on day one in the morning of my internship. And
yeah, but you're like the rookie. You're going to have to get that.
Sure, I get it. But maybe say hi first. You know, like...
What did they say?
The guy goes, I'd like to introduce you to Ryan. And he goes, Corky Romano.
That's funny.
I'm, again, not saying it isn't funny. I'm just saying that my reaction to that being the first thing that he said...
What was your reaction?
Was a negative one. I said, cool story, George Costanza.
Oh, that was your first reaction?
I don't remember if it said cool story, but I went, you're George Costanza or something.
Well, I mean, but I like that you came right back at it.
Came right back at it.
And he didn't like that.
He didn't like it at all. No,
Yeah, if you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it.
And then there was this one thing where I don't know, maybe a month later or something like that, we're doing a meet and greet type of event at a local bar where like they promote the radio station is going to be there and this and that, and I'm just there like helping out, and he's there like the guy talking buy shots or doing the business. And there was this one part where we were standing next to each other, and I just remember being like, I didn't say anything to him and he didn't say anything to me. We're just standing there. I was like, he's like,
You guys never cleared it up? He was the morning guy. Was he the big dick on campus?
I think it was, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, in all due respect to you. Yeah,
right. I get it. I get his point of view, but I also get mine.
If you weren't an intern, you might have gotten fired, right?
It wasn't anything like, we didn't fight or we didn't like argue.
Well, no, but if he's like the boss and like you came in, like if you were the intern for his show personally, just his show.
It might have gone down differently.
Yeah.
It might have gone down differently.
He might have been like, get this kid out of here.
But I had the same reaction that you just, my point in this whole rambling was that like bands would come in and I'd notice sometimes I'd be like, well, I don't care for that band. Or, like I said, I was really like starting to play a lot of music at that time. It's like to sound like a dickhead, maybe I thought I was better or something. Like I would rather be in that position.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be on that side of music. I wanted to be on the other side of music.
That's what it came down to, because I guess that's why I love the podcast so much. When you did ask me, I just like remembering like, oh wow, this is cool, because I've always wanted to do this. I used to talk to Cheebs and fucking and we should bring him on and have that be a segment or something, because me and him used to talk on tour all the time about having Cheebs and Morty in the morning.
Cheebs and Morty.
Yeah, because I'd always
Why
talk
are
like
you-
this, and he'd be like the Mexican guy, and I'm the Jewish guy, and it's Cheebs and Morty in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm Morty, and he's Cheebs.
That's getting way too on the.
I know, now we can't do that. That was
too on the line for me to comment one way or the other.
This was 11 years ago. Things have changed a little bit in the society. But we used to talk about always like having like a morning show, and then we were like, let's do a podcast someday. And then we finally, you and I, like I said to you before, like the last person I ever thought would ask me to do it, only because like you did. Yes, you're a funny dude, but you weren't always the guy who's talking. So you've gotten a lot better.
Thanks.
It's horrible. What I'm saying is, I just want to talk.
Yeah.
I like to talk. And I have things I want to talk about. You know, we do limit ourselves to things, and that's cool. We do that for the best of our listeners, that we don't end up fighting over things.
That's what this should be. It should just be a random come and have a fun time if you want to have a fun time podcast. We talk about music more.
I find it
often
easier
than
to
not.
talk in person.
Really?
Well, yeah, because we didn't come here with a fucking single note today.
Not a single
And we've been talking for however long we've been talking. And it's just easier because...
Well, last week.
Well, no, okay,
last week you were
all right,
talking
let's
about
talk about
shit.
this for a second.
Last week you were talking about shit.
I almost showed you a picture. I almost deleted that picture today.
I was
and I didn't.
When I was editing last week's podcast, and I'm laughing. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see it or this, that, whatever. And then like it wasn't in there. I just want everyone to know it wasn't cut out. You just didn't show me.
I decided at the last minute that I was like, I don't want to get that personal.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
He used against me. Somehow somebody can extract my DNA from that picture and it's over.
Well, that's wrong, but it's just it's like doing it's like would you want to do porn? Like the number one reason that I wouldn't ever do porn is because like it's out there now.
I don't know if I
Care?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, obviously that's why people that do that.
I do want to say something. We're going on. I was about to say something before we went down this weird topic.
Yeah, I got random. Whatever.
The difference of like doing this on Zoom versus doing this in person, I find easier to conversate. Like,
Well, we don't talk over each other quite as much as we do on the.
No, and even when we do, it doesn't feel like we are so much because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, like this is different. I'm curious to see how this is going to look.
Well, let's see how this turns out.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
But I'm probably going to wrap this up now because we needed to get this this first one in person out of the way, and it's good. This is episode 59.
9.
We're coming up on 60 next week, and that's crazy.
Halfway to 120.
At 100, we're bringing back the Gulch. 100, the Gulch comes
Is this
back.
his notice? This is it. Hey,
I've
Gulch,
already talked to him about
Here's your
this.
40-week notice. 40 weeks? That sounds like a long time.
It
Sounds like
does,
a long-
but we're
sounds
coming
like-
up on 60 weeks.
It's a long time to go without the Gulch. Maybe we can bring him back for 70.
We're coming back on 60 weeks.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like I was just going through our YouTube
We've been
channel,
consistent,
and I
dude.
went back and looked at the date of the first like thing that we posted about like, oh, we have a podcast coming out. It was like it was April 13th, 2020. Under a year. May 5th was our
wasn't it May?
No, that was our first episode, May 5th, 2020.
Okay.
Our
The one in
first
April?
We had 2 in April. 2 30-second commercial like things that we were like that we put up promoting it.
Podcast.
It was April 13th, 2020, and then April 20th, 2020. Happy 420, 2020. Pretty cool. Interesting.
420.
420, 20. And then May 5th, which was 1 year and 1 day, but the exact day of the week from when you called me. And I always mention that. It comes up a lot. My apologies to anybody who's saying, will you stop saying that? I'll stop saying it. But listen.
Shut up.
Shut up. When it comes down to it, it's crazy.
Dude, it's anything. Like, just be consistent.
I'm coming up on a year since I had COVID. That's already been a year. Dude, that's
Still
the craziest thing.
Are you still contagious?
No, but I was telling you about the walking back from the fucking grocery store. I felt winded. That's why I tested myself the other day.
My throat feels fine.
I feel like I do feel like there's some after effects. Like I feel like the brain fog is still a thing.
I've heard not just one person. I've heard several handful of people say that the brain fog was the worst they'd ever experienced.
It's still kind of there. Like, I can't wrap my mind around the fact that, like, it was really intense. Like, I was forgetting shit. Like, I was like, whoa, dude, that's like crazy. I just forgot. But like yesterday, we're in here and we've been writing a lot of new songs, you know, getting ready to, you know, do our first album. And we had just written a song not even 5 days before that we played from beginning to end. And I could not remember for the life of me what I played.
That's not that weird, though. I'm not disagreeing with you on the fog and all that. I believe
it was all so
100%,
foreign.
But I mean, like,
it's crazy.
Maybe you just forgot the song.
Yeah,
dude,
that's possible.
I've forgotten more about the guitar than I could tell you right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know.
I will say in summary that this is 100 times more fun.
Oh, yeah.
In person versus on Zoom.
And we've never done anything in person before with this.
Nothing.
No writing, no nothing.
Nothing. We started. I was living here when we started.
Yeah, when we went on those walks before you moved, we were working on it.
We were talking about it.
Well, no, because we had the stories part. I think we had the first stories episodes before you left.
Yeah.
They are horrible. I stumbled upon one of
these
those.
days we should put those out.
No way.
Just so everyone realize. Well,
no way.
Maybe it'd be interesting. We recorded a bunch of practice.
They were horrible.
But guess what?
We're better now.
Got better.
We get better. I think we're getting better. I think we're definitely better from when we started a year ago. I just remember like that first episode and how much, dude, I remember how nerve-wracking it was. And like,
I compared it, and I think this is pretty accurate, starting the podcast to recording music, where you can play a song perfectly and you can know the parts perfectly. But whenever you hit the record button, all of a sudden some kind of weirdness happens where you're like, oh, I have to get it right. And then it's not perfect. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, I kind of look at it as like more like a band reaches that point in rehearsal room, and at some point they got to take it to a stage.
But the point
that's where you get better.
The point was that there is now like something different introduced. Like you have that record and the pressure to get it right quickly and not waste time that makes that song that you had no problem playing before a little bit weird. And it was the same thing with the podcast where I'm used to talking to you. I could talk about a topic. I could do this, that, whatever. But like I don't film everything that I do. I don't have 3 cameras on me for everything that I do. So that added the weirdness for me. That was my weirdness.
You know, what's really cool is today, if you go back to when we started this and that whole build up to like doing that first one and how much pressure it was getting it all together and the stress. And then today we just came in here like, all right, cool. So now we got to do this in person. How do we do this? And we have a completely different setup going.
Completely different.
That we've done any other episode. Episode 59 is completely different than any other episode.
But we wouldn't have been able to do it without all that.
Right. That's my point. The point is that like we've gotten to this now, and we're still growing this thing. This thing, hopefully, you know, like we mentioned before, it's a long haul project.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, and report.
Yeah.
Guys.
Help
us move this shit along.
Like, subscribe, report.
That came out angry too. I come across as an angry guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Well, I won't name names, but I had a friend say, and
I'm an angry guy?
Like, and I never pegged you as an angry guy.
Yeah.
But I had a friend who had watched a bunch of episodes. He's like, man, Ryan's fucking angry.
Who?
I'm not calling him out here, but
I'm not angry.
I was just like, wow, I never picked up on it. And then after that, then I started taking notice.
Oh man, maybe I had to start taking notice.
Yeah.
Thank you, nameless friend. I'll try to do better.
I think you're out of your environment. You're in a new environment. It's good for you.
It's nice being out here.
Yeah.
It's nice being out here. It's nice. Well, here's the nice thing is that I was in such a what's the word? Loop?
Wait, let me get it.
That word.
No.
Word man. Pattern?
We're on to something. Hold on a second.
Schedule?
We're so close. Right there.
Routine. Dude, same time, man.
Routine.
Yeah, I was in a routine, and it probably wasn't the best.
It took us a long time to get to that.
Yeah, dude.
We got there at the same time, though.
You gave me, I hope, you got the brain fog to blame it on. I don't know what my excuse is, but anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm angry.
What you were saying?
What I was saying is that it's good to break out of that routine a little bit and do different things and get out of bed in the morning and go get a coffee in the sunshine or something, you know. It's just different.
Yeah, and now we got...
Shout out Mom and Dad. What up?
Hey, Papa and Mama Harris.
They told me to tell you hello, so I'm doing it in the most public way that I have the means to do so.
Will you tell them I said hello back?
You just did.
Hello back.
You do a better job of wrapping these up than I do, so why don't you do what you're paid for?
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the What Everybody podcast. As Ryan mentioned, like, subscribe, and report. And get used to this. We're going to have a couple of episodes of us just hanging out, doing this. You know, this is kind of neat. I'm actually probably going to be really bummed when he goes back. I'm going to be like, all right, cool. Now we got to go back to old school shit, which doesn't feel as cool as this. This feels good. So thank you for joining us on the inaugural in-person episode.
I like that.
I heard the inaugural thing when we were fucking going through those early things that I was watching. I was just talking about, like the little commercials. Yeah. Inaugural in-person episode. We got cameras everywhere. This is neat. Got you get to see the rehearsal room from a different perspective, which is pretty cool. And again, it puts us one step closer to what our ultimate goal is with the podcast. So this is great. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week here for the What Everybody podcast. Yeah, whateverybody.com.
Episode 60.2, I guess you could call it, will be next week.
Yeah,
that's too confusing. Week. We'll see you then, though.
This is episode 59, though. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.